So please have your colors pre-diluted with water to a consistency that I like to call heavy cream-like ratio. This is my color palette. We're gonna wet the entire cat basically, except for the eyes. So I'm going to start wetting the cat, basically everything except for the eyes. So I'm just going to wet it except for the eyes. And I'm gonna start with some of this yellow, I guess. This is my yellow ochre raw sienna. And then I'm gonna grab some of this quin red. And I'm gonna start right here actually, where I have the ear. I feel like this is kind of a good area to start with. A little more red. If I want more red, I'll grab more red. The thing is that you want to mix colors on the paper, not your palette. So you can see the separation of colors. So here's a good example. Like you can see yellow tones, and then you can see some of the red. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. Now some areas just feel more yellowish, so that's where I don't need to necessarily add some of that ochre or quin red, let's say. Just maybe focus on applying the yellow tones, which is my yellow ochre as the main yellow and raw sienna. So I'm looking for the lightest areas, but also like more yellowish areas. Now I'm moving towards the lower areas, the parts. So this is where I can define the chin, right? The chin is pretty light, so I'm gonna go right underneath the chin right there. Now, there's another way to make sure you don't have any color bleed towards the top, is by basically omitting that area, maybe keeping it paper dry. So when you wet the paper, you wouldn't wet like that pencil line there, for example. I do that sometimes. This is my long quill size 4. I'm gonna come back here to these areas. I'm gonna create like a transition, soft transition. So I'm gonna grab the same yellows I've had, raw sienna, yellow ochre, a little too much water. But here I'm gonna tone it with this color here and with a little thicker paint there. And then this is Van Dyke brown as well. There is too much water, and I can tell because I don't want at this stage for the paint to spread as much. So I'm gonna grab the paint from thicker areas on my palette. And now I'm going to apply these shades, which is like a mix up. I don't want the colors to be too mixed together. So this might be a little too much of a mix. So I'm gonna redo this quickly grab the colors and go travel towards the darkest parts that I can see now over the cat. And if I need to show that there's some more Van Dyke brown, I will grab that as well. Now I was thinking about that blue, cobalt blue. I haven't used it yet. Maybe I'll use it later. I do want more of the reds with those yellows. So I'm gonna come here. So not all areas need to be this dark, right? So I'm choosing some of the areas only. I'm just gonna play like the mid-tones. So looking for all those mid-tones. You know, I might run out of time. I was thinking just to do the face first, but it's kind of like I said, like when you move around a lot, you actually keep your paper wet longer. I'm grabbing more of the Van Dyke brown, indigo, maybe some of the reds. I'm gonna add some here. And this is the middle section here. Very gently, like I'm not really trying to have anything perfect here. Another thing is like, you know the paint is gonna spread, right? You just want to kind of create shapes in a way. You want to have the colors in there to create the contrast. So it's not really that nothing has to be perfect, and you don't need to like, okay, there is that one whisker. I want that whisker perfectly there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. So it's about like adding colors to create that contrast between light and shadows. But I do have that shape, initial shape already. And everything else is kind of like, okay, maybe add a little more color here. So I'm just grabbing like thicker paint. So there's my indigo, and then there's some of the browns, and then some of the reds. And I'm gonna come back here one more time. I did say that I'm not gonna come back, but I do wanna add a little color here. I just wanna make it a little darker. And I do want more red. Because I was talking about these pinkish undertones, but I don't have enough of that red in here, and I do want it. And this may be a little too much, but I'll feel it out later. Again, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as the reference, but I do like the idea of having some of that pink in there. I want a little bit of that pink right here, actually. This is like the both pinks plus the yellows. It's just mostly this side because it's more pinkish. Even more pink, if I can add right there. Maybe here, and then the muzzle part. The brush got a little dirty, but let's see how it turns out. I just picked up a little more of that pink. The cute little mouth, just to make sure, and then just to make sure I have color in there before it dries, and then a little bit of that here. I was studying the cat's face when I was sketching it, just to make sure that, okay, this is where it needs to stay lighter and so on. And I'm cleaning the brush, making sure it's a clean brush. What I'm gonna do is grab this cream top of some indigo, Van Dyke brown, some pink. There you go. And then I'm gonna create some of these stripes. So this is my stiffer brush for more control. So I'm using a stiffer brush so I have more control. And I'll show you the version I did of this cat at first, when I painted the cat in the background at the same time. And then I kind of thought to myself, this needs to be a little more simplified. And that's why I'm doing the cat first, and then we're going to do the background. And I'm looking not just for the stripes, but also for the darkest areas. And this is like a cream top like ratio between water and paint. And then a step we're going to do, the next thing we're going to do is lift colors. So that will be our next thing. But for now, we can just add colors. And this is like towards the darkest areas, that's what I meant. But this is more like, I need to add color here above the eyes, just to create some contrast there too, because I can do it later, but sometimes it's nice to have something more when you come back later already, like, okay, this is how much we have contrast already, and we don't have to worry as much, let's say if we don't want to add that second layer, because sometimes we just don't want to add that second layer. There you go. And then if I'm able to create more contrast right away, softly this way, wet on wet, with the first layer, then why not, right? Okay, so stripes, more of that same color. It's between actually heavy cream and cream top like ratio. And where's the darkest part? It's kind of like right here. Maybe right here. And then we had these stripes. So just pulling through, and then we can add more in between. So you're kind of mimicking the fur when you create these long strokes in a way. And then with that dirty brush, I just picked up some of the burnt sienna there. It was some of the yellow, just to define that chin more. I do want to define the chin more, and then to shape that face there. And go back here. So now it's kind of like working with that stiffer brush, whatever paint I have left on my brush, and to recreate some of these, the fur. So to mimic the fur. So the softness comes from, painting this wet on wet. So the more you can do like this, wet on wet, the softer the painting will look. And then we can always decide like, okay, do we want to add another layer or not? Because a lot of times we might be able to just surprise ourselves and finish the entire painting with just one layer. I'm just going over the same areas, exactly same areas, just I have a little more blue, and I think you can see it's more indigo. I think I'm okay with it. There you go. And then back towards the face, it's again like, do I have enough color there? There you go. And then maybe with the tip of my brush, this cream tip like ratio, is this one area that's a little darker. Well, of course, we have also the nose. We don't have to paint all of it at once, but this part would be nice to have that. Good. All right. Next step is to actually, well, continue lifting, because I kind of started lifting, but with a rigger brush. And then every, like, if maybe there's an area like right here, like me, you added too much of the color. Maybe there's another area. So this is your time to like lift the colors if you need to. I want to try just a little more of that, the yellows with the burnt sienna. And I want to zoom in onto my reference because I feel like there's a little more of the red on this side too. So the nose, right? We can start it. This is the reds and plus some of the yellows, the raw sienna yellow ochre. So I'm just gonna leave it that way. And if I want to lift, maybe this area right here. I keep picking up too much of the color. That means my towel's a little dirty. There you go. And now I'm gonna quickly grab, actually before that, I want to grab a little more of those yellows because this kind of looks not like it belongs there. There you go. It's more like the nose. It just needed a little like a shadow in a way. This part will paint the mouth later, so it's not too overwhelming. So thank you so much for your time.